Welcome to Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers.
Welcome back to part 2 with Brian Ruhlmann, owner of Craic Sauce.
Yeah, it's so tough planning ahead. I mean, you have to plan, but you have to adjust from that plan all the time. It's just always a dance.
We did inventory just, a couple weeks ago and discovered that we don't have enough green jalapenos to last us the year. Oops. We overbought peppers in 2021 and we've been continuing to buy peppers since then because we don't want to just be like buy farms and like not buy at all. So we've just been buying smaller amounts and just using up what we have. And so this is the first year in like 5 years that we've even had to question if we have enough of any one particular kind of pepper. And so I wasn't paying close attention to it. We got our green jalapenos at the end of the season this year instead of at the beginning, just because you can get green jalapenos whenever you want. And so they were really mature. And so while they were sitting, waiting to be processed, a lot of them turned red and we just processed them as red and it's fine. Like it's never been a problem. But this year, apparently it was because we don't have enough green jalapenos. So we're making some shifts. So like we might eke it out, or there might be one or two flavors that we're just like out of for like a month or something, depending on how things go. But yeah, it was like, my head chef came up to me and was like, I was just in the freezer and we got like 1,800 pounds of green jalapenos and I don't think that's enough. And I was like, oh, no, that's not. Okay, great. So, yeah. Oops. Planning. Yeah. Hot sauce shout out. Brian, did you bring a hot sauce of somebody else's to show off? You don't have to eat it.
I was just by the door coming. I don't have it on me this second, but it's one room away. I got some down to ferment at the end of the year. I got the Brian Ames and collab with the Java Jam.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fun one. And I was using, I kind of asked earlier to kind of move around hot sauces with the seasons. I've been really adding that one to a lot of like chilies and just like when doing, it's got some good heat on that one. So I've known Sean for a while over there, but I hadn't bought some sauces from them. So I got the Corn Hub and the Java Jam and enjoying what they got going on over there.
They're so good.
Nice.
Just great guys. Some of my favorites.
Yeah, they're great.
We were talking about getting the same piece of equipment, so we beat them to it. So we're the guinea pig now. We're actually we got a inline shear pump that we're doing a first run on Monday. So I'll be giving them the report with how it goes.
I want to know how that goes.
Yeah.
So one of the things we looked into like shear milling a while back, and the issue we had was blinding with like it getting clogged up. Have you do you have a solution for that, or is that an issue for you?
I am thinking of I was actually just at a farmer's market and somebody just like came in hot saying that they were a hot sauce co-packer and they wanted to talk to us for a while and I told them we were getting the shear pump and they were like, I have some advice to you, like get a sight view to go with your piping. So just so you're able to see like, is it getting jammed coming out of the kettle? Is it getting jammed like going into the shear, out of the shear? So having like sight lines to see where it gets jammed. So the sales reps didn't mention anything about that, but I've kind of heard that from like just that quick conversation that I have. So we're going to get kind of a sight line to attach to the piping. So at least we'll like know if a jam happens where it is jammed. But in the manual that I was looking at, it just like make sure that there's always like liquid in the chamber because things can get messed up if there isn't. So it's kind of newer for us. It's just like I just like really training the team on how to properly use equipment and see, like, 'cause it was just like, it was a knife and a Vitamix, and then it's like a Robocoup Blixer, and it just like suddenly it's just like the price tags of these equipment is going up, and also just like there's electric, there's plumbing, there's like all like these added elements that you have to really make sure the team knows how to use and you're careful with it. We
have a mill. We use a mill for smoothing our sauce, a Robocoup mill. And the very first time we used it, they I think they turned it on dry, and it didn't like that. Or they turned it on dry and then they poured sauce into it, and it didn't like that change. Like you have to pour some sauce and then turn it on, and it caused it to to switch off, and so it went and then shut off the very first time we used it, and we didn't know, and we assumed there had to be some reset button somewhere, but we couldn't find one anywhere. And like I think I might not have been there, and so then they didn't want to like take it up. They weren't going to take it apart, but there was no button anywhere, and so it was basically like it's broken. And I was like, "Are you? Oh my, what?"
Those are like the nightmares I still have all the time. Just
yeah.
The thing about getting a new tool is that there's until it's the new tool, it changes everything, but there's no backup. And so as soon as everything, you've leveled up, and now you try and go back, and it doesn't go back easily. It's the worst.
And it's hard when you're not the one in your kitchen that you got this tool and you're like, this is great, and then everybody in your kitchen is like, yeah, but we could just keep doing what we were doing. That's easier.
Yeah.
Like, no, I need you to use the new thing, please. Go use the new thing. Yeah. We got a Giraffe, which was it's an immersion blender on a stand. Basically, it's a big giant thing, and it was, honestly, I wanted to get this thing for like 4 years, 5 years, something like that. It was like always in the plans to get it, and it just the stars never aligned to make it happen. And we finally got it, and for like a week or 2 weeks, it was just sitting in the kitchen, and I was like, guys, use it. And we go through immersion blenders like water. It pains me so much. And so finally they used it. And from moment one, they were like, this is the best. And they have never looked back, but it took them like a couple weeks to actually like put that thing in the pot and make it go.
You're gonna make me learn.
Like, we're busy. You have all these expectations. You want me to make stuff. I'm going to make it the way I always make it. Yes.
Totally.
But now it's great. Anyway, hot sauce shout out. What do you have, Spike?
I have Bear River.
Nice.
I just have not. First of all, I was thinking of John today, and I haven't talked to him in a long time. Just been busy. And so I was thinking, I need to give them a shout out because
nice,
John's awesome, and I miss you, John.
And Brian, if you like talking meteorology and hot sauce,
oh man,
you can talk meteorology and hot sauce with John.
I don't have much to contribute, but I'll be there and present, and
and fascinated. I grabbed Heartbeat's pineapple hot sauce. So I haven't had it. It's open, unopened. That's what I've been grabbing just for my unopened stash of hot sauces instead of the open stash. I actually looked briefly in our open stash, and I was like, I don't know. I don't remember what I've brought before, but I know I haven't brought Heartbeat's pineapple hot sauce.
I'm going to give that one a real compliment too. I really liked it. I'm not a big pineapple guy, but pineapple hot sauces are kind of, they're everywhere. But my favorite pineapple sauce that I've ever had, and it really changed my view of them, was is it High Sauce? Is that what it's called? Out of Hawaii. Yeah, High Sauce. Their pineapple was, I just blanked for a second, was phenomenal. Of course, it's coming from Hawaii. But when I expected to have a letdown when I tried Heartbeats because of it's really, it stands up to that level. It's really, really good. And, didn't have to say that. So no reason for it. It just was surprising at how good it was. So
Heartbeat makes good sauce.
They really do.
Definitely.
Yeah. They're OG. And of course we don't see them much anymore because Canada and the US I miss them. I miss having Canadians down here.
Yeah, I bet. Let's see. Oh, what's next for you? Where do you see your company going from here?
Yeah, I'm excited for this year, which is going to be not much different. I'm having a young one at home for the first time. It's really cool seeing our crew take on more responsibility and just involve them in a lot of our creative direction. Like that's something I've kind of steered the ship in that sense, but and the team's been really enthusiastic and we always get their inputs and everything. But it's a lot of more of the same, but we're going to be really leaning into collaboration. So we've been having, I've just been calling them like just really boring spreadsheet days and just like kind of back, like we haven't had like, we've had crazy Excel spreadsheets as our like recipes. And now we're really developing them into formulas and just coming up with like better. So it's like, it's not like anything's changing too much, but we're just providing more structure to be able to allow to do like more collaborations. And when we're trying a new sauce from scratch of like have a template to do that. So like, I think we're kind of doing some back end things to just be able to do more limited edition collab sauces and just do more of the same. So, and that's the reason why I got into this is just like, it's not to be the next Tabasco. It was just really to enjoy doing what we're doing and being able to cook and go out to markets and do some farming too. So we're selecting kind of our crop plan too. So it's a fun time when you're just like kind of dreaming of warmer days, thinking about what we're going to be growing. So it's going to be a lot of the same, but every year we just try to improve a little bit more with what we're doing.
I'm Claire George. I own Butterfly Bakery of Vermont. We make hot sauce, mustard, cookies, and granola, and 100% of our products are made with Vermont ingredients. The thing that I hear most often from people is that my hot sauce tastes like the peppers that are in it. We do really simple recipes that don't get too crazy and nitpicky, just to really accentuate the flavor of the peppers that are in there. The unique thing about our hot sauces is how much we feature the farm and the relationship with the farm and really bring the terroir of Vermont to our hot sauces. I am pretty sure I am the #1 purchaser of Vermont-grown chili peppers. I would love it if there would be a legitimate pepper market in Vermont where people would know Vermont for its peppers. We're all better for supporting each other. You know, and I think that part really shows itself with the collaborations that I do with the other businesses and the other farms, that I love working together and coming up with new ideas and presenting each other with new challenges. And I think overall that's the attitude here. And I absolutely love it because that's my attitude. I try to live my life with love. The ingredients that I use, I would say that my values are reflected in that I use ingredients that, again, feel good, feel loving, feel supportive. The relationship with the farmer was how it all began. If I changed the reason for it being, if I went out and bought some commodity peppers, you know, it might not be as good.
You can find Butterfly Bakery of Vermont hot sauce, mustard, granola, and cookies at butterflybakeryvt.com.
Awesome. Nice. Do you have any questions for us?
I actually have a question for you, Claire. I know you're a co-packer. I've had people ask me, it's like, oh, can you make me like this salsa and everything? Yeah. What's that process like to
be a co-packer?
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. or like, I guess, that sense of like, there's this, somebody we shared a kitchen with, is interested in doing like a pebre. So kind of smaller batch because we're still in a shared kitchen, but like that's still technically making a sauce for somebody else. So
yeah, I mean, at the most basic level, it's taking their recipe and making sure you're hitting their goals and ideas and putting their label on it and then giving it to them to sell. I would say I don't think co-packing's for everyone. There's definitely a certain loss of ego that you have to be comfortable with. I've seen people get into co-packing because they like making sauce and then get annoyed when a sauce that they made won an award and they can't talk about it. Or they can't brag about a sauce that they made winning an award. Or they get, it's hard that their name isn't on that bottle of sauce or
their name is,
or they insist on putting their name on that bottle of sauce, which tends to make the resulting sauce look more amateurish, that it's like randomly got this other name on it. So, there's a certain amount of like, I mean, also hands down, we make sauces that I do not like, that I taste that sauce and I'm like, that tastes like that sauce. Let's make it. And that's fine. I'm not the target market for that sauce. And I mean, I'm not the target market for a lot of the over 1 million bottles of sauce that we make. So, because I can't consume that much sauce. So I think that it's, kind of bringing the same level of, care and attention and all of that to a sauce that you don't have the same level of passion because it's not your own, but bring that same level of care because somebody else has that level of passion for it. And I think that, but it's also, I love being a co-packer because we learn a ton as business owners. We're so siloed in how we do things that we don't think that there's a different way of doing things. It was long into making hot sauce that I realized that most other people blend all their ingredients and then cook them, and we cook them and then blend them. And I mean, it might have been in the last 5 years that I realized that most other people blend and then cook. And, so we're just in that silo. And so it's great. It's so great to just learn from other people, learn ideas, learn milling as a thing. It wasn't even, I knew other people who did it, but I didn't really know how to go about it. And it was one of our clients who brought it to us and said, we mill and this is how we do it. And I was like, wow, this is great. We could do this too. So we're not talking like trade secrets or anything. But just those things that you just don't even think about. We're constantly challenged to be better sauce makers because we're making other people's sauces. And constantly challenged to make sauces in totally different ways. And make other things too. Like we're making some stuff right now that's not even hot sauces. And generally we try not to do that, but every once in a while we end up doing that. And we learn new things, like how do these chemicals interact with each other? Those are, we like do billing and stuff differently than a lot of clients, or a lot of co-packers will bill like whole product. So as a co-packer, you buy all the ingredients, you do all the things, and then you just give one price for the product. That's how most of them do it. We tend to break it apart because we feel like people can actually save money that way, and it simplifies our life and all of that. There is such a high demand for co-packers, and such a lack of co-packers out there that, and even more importantly, such a lack of good co-packers out there, that you can do things the way that you want to do them and it's going to work best for you. And you will probably find somebody who goes, yes, I want that too. Yeah. And it's taken us some years to do that. In the beginning, we just kind of would do everything. But, over the years, we've, kind of pared down to the things that we can do effectively and well and not kind of make ourselves mad.
Yeah.
So
we're thinking of like just dipping our toes into it just because we know like there's small scale like I feel like the challenge for a lot of people is like, oh, we have to hit this huge like MOQ. Yeah. But it's just like, if I'm doing like I just don't want to like overcommit and like doing 200 bottles here because I know you do the farmers markets and like
Yeah.
And it'll keep us more busy. Is that something that we would put like a process authority letter for and then submit into like our FDA
portal? So you as the manufacturer have to do the FDA submission regardless of anything else. If you actually change facilities, like you're in a shared kitchen now, if you went and opened a new building, you'd have to set a whole new, all the FDA submissions are location specific. If you can, how you do the process authority part you can vary that. You can have them go out and get a process letter, bring it to you, you submit that. I became the process authority for everything that we make because, and I'm not a process authority for anything that other people make, but just anything that we make, because we could standardize all of our processes. What we found is we had co-pack clients coming to us with different sets of rules. And so some needed to be at 180 and some at 190 and some at 170, and then some for 1 minute and some for 5 minutes and it made it really complicated in our kitchen. And so for us, even if you come into our building with a different, a different process, we still require you to get a new process approval through me, because it just makes our lives easier.
Like a certification or course that
to become a process authority.
Yeah.
So the FDA highly regulates us as makers. They have no regulation when it comes to process authorities. So when I say no regulation, generally the way the FDA works is if you can prove that what you are doing is safe, you are allowed to do it loosely. Obviously, there are exceptions to that. Yeah. But as a process authority, basically anybody can say, I'm a process authority. That is state specific. So some state, California, you can't say that. Everything has to go through UC Davis if you're in California. In Vermont, we have no extra rules besides the FDA rules. So I only have to follow those. The way that the FDA defines a process authority is an expert through training or practice, or training or expertise, or training or doing. you can be an expert through training or doing. And I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but and what I will say is when we had our FDA inspection, when I told my inspector that I was the process authority, he said, I've never seen that before. And then he proceeded to grill me on lots of things. Basically, it wasn't like a formalized test, but he wanted to make sure that I was in fact an expert. So I would say, don't call yourself an expert until you feel confident that you're an expert. Yeah. But I will also say that if you make a sauce that a process authority approves and you kill people, you as the maker are the one responsible, not the process authority. And so I feel like I, as the maker, I am bearing all the responsibility of what I am putting out there into the world. And so being the process authority is, to me, a no-brainer. I always hesitate when I put that out into the world, because there are a lot of people who are like, I am my own process authority, and they know jack shit. Yeah. And the FDA did absolutely grill me on it. I then had fun grilling him on things, because I knew more about acidified foods than he did, because he was mostly an FDA inspector for fish. But he had his book and he knew how to look things up, and he would pull things out. So, it's, and honestly, if you make the FDA unhappy, who knows what hell they can put you through. So, you can, if you feel comfortable in your level of expertise, then you can say that you are the process authority for everything that you make. Checking Massachusetts laws, because Massachusetts is funny about food. I don't know how they are about manufacturing, but every time we do an event there, all the counties and all the don't like it.
Massachusetts in general is just a weird state. And so we do events in Massachusetts and we do events in Rhode Island, and of course, like every time we've got all the different, every town and every county and every, like, both of those are like, it drives us bonkers. And I always say we don't have those in Vermont. We do have, if you actually are catering, you have to have like a catering license if you're serving hot food out of a food truck. But if you are sampling
No.
Spike, I have a question with just like coming up with so many hot sauces. What tends to drive your inspiration with just coming up with those, like especially the ones that you like tend to be the ones you care most about? Ones that
So there's a couple different things. First of all, the artists. So we're known for our art on our bottles, and I work closely with artists to design the sauce. So I used to make the sauce, commission the art. Now it's the opposite way around, and I design it with my artists so they feel more in touch with it. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I'm kind of in love with the sauce. This one I made with my artist, and it's an artist I've worked with a lot. Her name's Fady Romero. She's Colombian. We were looking at myths just together. This is an all Calabrian sauce called Fata Morgana, and we made this last night. It's caramelized fig, red wine, bergamot, dark chocolate, and pink peppercorns and Calabrian chilies, and I just keep pouring it on my little hand spoon, like we call it, and licking my hand. And I just get infatuated with our sauces that way. But it's the artists. The artists drive it more than anything. But I have weird things. I'll see something, an ingredient somewhere. I saw something on pulque, which is made with agave, and I thought, oh, that sounds cool. And I'm not really going to be able to get enough to do a big batch, and so it'll become a premium, and I'll be really happy to make that. It'll be a lot of fun. And like you, I get to figure it out, I love that, just figuring out how to do this the right way and make it great. And I often will work with artists, hopefully in that area of the world. We're doing a sauce, and I got to talk to a lady in Kenya, and we worked really closely because I wanted to make sure I was honoring it perfectly. And so she taught me how to make the Kenyan version, where they make the sauce and then you drop it into hot oil so it fries immediately. And I'm like, oh yeah, all into it. And so that's an upcoming sauce. I'm really into that. I just love that stuff. Flavor Balance Heat, the podcast for hot sauce lovers and makers, is brought to you by Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces. I'm Spike, the owner and executive saucier. Our sauces are handmade in the Pacific Northwest using the best possible ingredient. We believe that hot sauce equates to a balance of sensational heat coupled with a robust and complex flavor profile. Live your hottest life with Irish Spikes. Irish Spike's unique hot sauces and Vandal pepper sauces are available at saucecult.com.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I feel like when you surround yourself with another creative and just also give it some space. So it sounds like it's cool, like talking about the myths. It's just like that's not the most direct way to come up with a recipe, but I feel like you kind of get your depth and creativity, and that's cool to hear.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's a blast. I love it.
And Brian, if you have Copac related questions, like just feel free to shoot me emails or whatever.
Appreciate that. There's one small project I think we're gonna try to take a step on and see how that goes. But
one more thing that I would add on that is just be careful of your margins, because Copac is a tight margin game, and it's really easy to accidentally just lose a lot of money.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the whole margins, finances, just like keeping like you're buying produce throughout the year. It's hard to kind of like, it's easy to sit down when you have like a strict number of like, this is what an onion costs and this is the waste, but just like it's all fluid. I'd imagine that can be challenging to price out and make sure you're not.
And labor, and if you're renting a kitchen, and all of those things can eat into it in a way that that when you're making your own sauces, it doesn't matter as much because you have better margins. And there is always downward price pressure on co-packing. Always.
We are just started down that road. We've got one, and we're working. Actually, we've got two co-packing. We're co-packing for two clients now. And about ready to have a third.
Nice.
And it's totally different. It is a lot of, there's a lot more to consider that you can just take for granted doing on your own. So, yeah.
And I would also 100% say, if you don't get a good vibe on the co-pack is a partnership. And if you're not vibing with the person, the client, just don't. Yeah. Because you do open yourself up to a lot of risk. If you make something for them that's, maybe it's off spec, like you would have been like, oh, this is fine. And they're like, no, this isn't the product. All of a sudden you might be taking the fall for a huge dollar value that was not even equivalent to what you were going to make off of it. It's if you've got a good working relationship, you can usually work those things out. But we've had some bad co-pack relationships, and I feel like I've gotten better at identifying those before we even get into them. And it's not worth it. Just not worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
This podcast has been so good for this process we're getting into, because I've got to listen to Claire and hear all the good, the bad, and the ugly all along the way.
There's always that. Yep.
And I'm sure I'm still going to find, we're still going to step in some dog shit along the way, but it is what it is. We have got, I don't know why I slammed my hand down there. We've got the speed round. And so I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast, but we do a bunch of questions real fast, quick answers, and just try and get it back to me as quick as you can. Don't think about it too much. All right. You win the lottery. What's the first hot sauce related thing you buy?
A literal mill building.
Ah, all right.
Lowell. Yeah, wow. I like, we're called Mill City Red, Mill City Made. I'd love to set roots and
nice.
Get a food mill while I'm at it. So.
There you go. If you had to give up the hot sauce business but could do anything else, and I'm going to take farming out of that, but just so that we get to know you a little bit better, what would it be?
I think a bartender. I just love moving my hands around and making things, and I think I would get lost in that. Really enjoy that type of work. Just
awesome.
Yeah,
I love that question because we always get another layer. If you could use one hot sauce for the rest of your life, desert island hot sauce, it can't be one of yours, what would it be?
I think Kitchen Garden Sriracha. They just make a really damn good Sriracha.
I don't know if I've had that.
Touch of sugar. I mean, it's all their own produce, and it's pretty much just peppers and a touch of sugar, but beautiful sauce.
Awesome.
Out of Sunderland, where we went to school. Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Next to Amherst.
I met them last year at the Boston local trade show.
Oh, we should get them on
they have
the
some
podcast.
great other products with Jardiniera and Posada. They have a really cool story. I actually interviewed them on not 10 years ago, but the two founders sold the farm in business to two of their longtime employees last year. So it's
nice.
Cool just to see it continue on with people that just started there 10 years ago when they were college students.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
What is the best business advice you've ever received?
So best advice I got is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Of just like kind of doing things, practicing them till you do it really well. And then once you're doing that process really well, like you got confident you're taking big steps forward, but taking it slow first.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
If you had to fight another hot sauce company owner, who would it be and would you win? You don't have to answer this one if you don't want to.
I mean, might as well.
I love that. No matter how often I say that, somebody still they still want to charge through and answer it. I love
so
that.
It definitely would have been Barry from Barry's Hot Sauce. He did the most epic pivot of. So I moved to Ireland when he moved from Ireland to Boston, and we started a hot sauce company at the same time and lived a town over from each other and did like the same farmers markets. And we're competing. We were like literally like racing to stores to knock on the doors and everything. So it would have been Barry, and I think I would have lost, to be honest. He's jiu-jitsu and everything. So I think I'm retired from that type of game there.
There you go. All right. If you could collaborate with any hot sauce company, who would it be?
I would collab with Dragon Blood's Elixir. I just love their. I saw they did like a single source seasonal sauce. They just have some really cool things. So I think like if we both brought some like end of the season produce together, we'd have a crazy collab. So I just really, when at Hot Sauce, I think the New Hampshire or the New England Hot Sauce Expo that Spicy Shark puts on, they're usually there, and I'm always wowed by a few of their sauces that they do that are really complex and feature local ingredients too.
If your brand were a cave person, would you be a hunter or a gatherer, and why?
I think a gatherer. I'm just a very patient person. And I like to build my inventory, and then maybe we sit on it too much, but more of a gatherer, and then gives you flexibility down the road.
There you go. And describe your favorite hot sauce from your line without saying a single ingredient or heat level.
Different, creeping, balanced. Balanced is probably an overused word, but hey, it's the title of the podcast. But that's our goal, our golden pumpkin. Everybody's like, oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's we do a pumpkin sauce. That sounds, when you were describing that, it sounds amazing.
Yeah. I always say like the pumpkin just does a good job of bridging everything together because it's partly savory, partly sweet, and then it creeps like from the habanero to the ghost pepper. But if it wasn't for the pumpkin, it would not be what it is.
Awesome. Now, my favorite. If Pepto-Bismol asked you to make hot sauce actually using Pepto, what flavors of heat would you use, and what would you put in it?
Okay. I might turn this Pepto into a Pepto vinegar, add some cherry in there. I think it was Elijah's that did like a cherry Reaper that was like delicious. And so I think I have to throw some Reaper in there, and maybe some strawberry, just keep the fruitiness going. So
Awesome. I like that. I always get annoyed when I'm not annoyed, but I always think, why would you put something mild in there? It's Pepto. It's going to kill it all anyway. Go for it.
Yeah.
Make it work for it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you. This has been a Spike Mind Media production.